Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video we'll be taking a look at the Klevv CRAS X RGB DDR4 kit. Keep watching to find out more. Okay, so in today's video we'll be taking a look at the Klevv CRAS X RGB DDR4 kit. Now this is a DDR4 3600 kit. Currently in the UK these retail for around about £85. Now obviously depending when you're watching this may make no sense to you whatsoever, but currently at the moment these sit in a really nice price point which is just under the kind of mainstream. So you've got your Corsair, got your Dominators, all those kinds of things, also got your Trident Neos, that kind of thing, which essentially are based on the same technology, use the same chips, which is the SK Hynix D-Die chips, which is the DJRs, but these come in a little bit cheaper. Now Klevv, for those of you who don't know, are a sub-company of SK Hynix, so obviously when it comes to sourcing RAM chips, yeah, they're in a pretty good position to get some of the best chips on the market, and they certainly seem to. This particular set, which I'll get out of the way straight away, manages to overclock really nicely, and being that they're using those D-Die chips, they do like a little bit of extra voltage if you want to, so you can actually pump into these some pretty specific numbers on the voltage. I actually ran these at 1.4 volts and managed to get them running at some crazy speeds. These went up to 4000 megahertz very easily, even at CL18 1.4 volts, absolutely fine, and people have been known to push them even higher and reduce those timings even more. So if you're into a little bit of tinkering and tweaking and you want to adjust your CAS latency settings and your timings and squeeze them down as low as possible, then these will give you certainly a little bit of headroom to play around with them. But for those of you that don't want to do that, you just want to buy yourself a nice set of RGB RAM, which are just going to work plug and play, or at least just go in, flick on the XMP or DOCP or whichever setting is applicable to your particular system, then these have got you covered as well. So these will XMP at DDR4 3600 speeds and CAS latency of 18, 22, 22, 42, 64, and that's at 1.35 volts. So yeah, pretty decent timings, especially again for DDR4 3600. Would have been nice to see them a little bit lower, maybe a CL17, CL16, but again, that is more your kind of next tier up of RAM, whereas this is aimed at the kind of the semi-budget conscious mainstream. So anyway, that's a brief intro of what these are all about. Let's take a look at the packaging, we'll take a look at the sticks closer, and then towards the end of the video we'll talk about my final thoughts and whether or not you should actually go out and buy these yourself. So looking at the packaging, first of all you can see it's got extreme lighting to colour up your life, so if you're into RGB you're going to appreciate these. Each one of these sticks has got 8 individual addressable LED RGBs, and there's a really nice diffuser on there as well, so you can, under some lighting circumstances, you can just about make out where the LEDs are, but they are obscured pretty well with that opaque top plastic piece, which also has a really nice design on it, a kind of angular design which is reminiscent of some of the other brands on the market right now. The RGB itself is compatible with a whole wide range of systems, so we've got things like ASUS, we've got ASRock, we've got Gigabyte, MSI. Also, these are Ryzen Threadripper supported as well, so if you've got a Ryzen Threadripper and you want to use them on there, you totally can do. And it's also Intel XMP 2.0 compatible straight out the gate. Now the one thing I would say about these, before we get into the unboxing, take a look at them, the XMP profiles are something which I think a lot of manufacturers fall into the same category, where they load up both the XMP profiles with exactly the same data. Now being that this is the DDR4 3600 speeds, it would be a little bit nicer if maybe they put in a 3200 speed in as well, just so that those of you who are maybe on slightly older systems, maybe you're on an older B450, or maybe you've got an older processor, maybe a 2000 series Ryzen, and 3600 might be pushing things a little bit far for your initial boot. It would be really nice to have some kind of middle ground there to select a separate XMP profile so that you can boot up straight away without having to go into your BIOS, choose the XMP profile, which is the 3600, and then maybe downgrading it to maybe 3200 or even 2933 depending on your system. Anyway, that's enough about that. Also, they come with a lifetime limited warranty, which I guess these days is kind of expected. And this is the 16 gig kit, as we said here. There are a couple of different versions of this kit available. So there's a 3200 kit, a 3600 kit, and also a 4000 kit, again all of which I will put in the video description so you can check them out for yourself. But if you're looking for the 4000 kit, then you might be better off just buying the 3600 kit anyway and just doing a little bit of manual tweaking to get them up to those 4000 speeds. So on the back of the box it goes into a little bit more details about the features. So configurable and controllable RGB full range lighting, exquisite yet stylish RGB wave flows illuminating across the memory heatsink, supports ASUS Aurora Sync Gigabyte RGB Fusion, MSI Mystic Sync, ASRock Polychrome Sync, and also Razer's Chroma software synchronization and management. Also, they've done rigorous testing to ensure the highest quality and reliability, and reduced voltage and ultra low power consumption, etc, etc. Supports Intel XMP, as we said before, for one-click overclocking, and they are mostly QVL approved and compatible with most mainstream motherboards. Awesome. Now, when you take them out of the box, I do appreciate the packaging. The packaging is no frills, basically is all you need, and you can see the sticks there. So you've got a matched pair, 2 sticks, 8 gigs each, making up your 16 gig kit, and also it says quite clearly on there the timings. So if for some reason you've got a board which doesn't like the timings from the XMP, you can go in and just manually type those into your motherboard, which is awesome. Also as well, you probably picked up there is some really nice elements of the design on this. So you've got like a finned section, which the fins will help slightly with heat dissipation, not massively because the fins aren't particularly deep, but certainly they will do to some extent. You've also got the CRAS logo on there, and got some really nice kind of angular shapes going on there, which makes it a little bit different. And obviously the angular shapes are then kind of reflected also in this top section. So you've got this plastic diffuser bar at the top, which has got these angular edges on, which do give it a little bit of height, not a massive amount of height. Maximum height of these, or the highest point of these, is 50 millimeters. So that is from the bottom of the pins, the golden pins, right to the very top. So if you're looking at maybe putting these in your system and you've got a air cooler, which might be a little bit on the close side, then as long as you've got 50 mil, you'll be absolutely fine. The memory sticks themselves, again going back to the design, so you've got these really nice heat spreaders on there, which are on both sides, and similar design on both. I like the little things, little touches, like the little Klevv logo on the top there, which just breaks up the RGB. So when you're looking at your system, which really, you probably shouldn't be looking at these too closely in your system. You should be enjoying playing games and rendering videos, all that kind of stuff. But certainly if you are looking inside your PC, or you've got people admiring your PC, I think they will appreciate those finer little details. So let's get down to the real thing of this. What do they actually perform like? Now, I'll be completely honest with you, I haven't done any real massive testing with these in terms of benchmarks against other types of RAM, because realistically, when it comes down to the SK Hynix DDR4, especially of this rating, they all do perform very, very similarly. So if you're looking at the Corsair Dominators, or again the G-Scale Neos, that kind of thing, they all use the same sort of chip. So you're going to get very, very similar performance. Now in certain tasks you may find that one does slightly better than the other, but it's not by a huge amount. And actually, when I was using these today, testing between some other RAM sticks that I've got here, even faster ones, 4000 megahertz, etc., from other manufacturers, it's extremely difficult to know which is actually in there. If you do a blind test, when you're playing games, rendering videos, anything like that, it's virtually impossible to tell without actually running benchmarks. So for me personally, I don't think it comes down to benchmarks. I think it comes down to other things, such as things like your warranty, what it actually looks like, and the price. Those are my 3 main factors. So let's take a look at those individually. So first of all, price-wise. So price-wise, these undercut the competition by somewhere in the region of £5 to £10 across the board, maybe slightly more, maybe slightly less, depending on your location. But certainly here in the UK, they're about £10 cheaper than the equivalent kits from other manufacturers. So that's definitely a win. When it comes to looks, now the looks are going to be pretty much one of those things where it's down to the individual. Now some people will not like RGB, some people will not like those plastic bits on the top, and some people may not like the name CRAS because it's a little bit too close to the word crash. That must be a definite thing they've tried to avoid, but certainly it is there. That's been a bit silly. Essentially, they do look really nice, and as you've probably seen from tons and tons of the cutaway shots which I filmed already today, they do look particularly nice. I really do like the look of these, and again, at that low price point, I think that also for me is a win. Now last on the list is the warranty. So with a full limited lifetime warranty, what's there not to like? Again, these are made by SK Hynix, the actual Klevv company themselves, or Core. They are a sub-company of SK Hynix, so it's a known company, they've been around a long time, and Klevv generally do try to stay in that kind of premium price point, but it's really nice to see them now dipping their toes into the kind of more murky mainstream territory with these budget price RAM sticks. So let me know what you think about these in the comment section below. Is this a brand that you'd consider putting in your PC? Is this a brand you've not heard of before and you're certainly interested, especially at these keen price points? I'm really interested to know what your thoughts are. Some people really do like to stick with their kind of common brands, such as your Corsairs and things like that. Personally, I think for the money that you've saved there, and also from using them, they seem absolutely fine. They can overclock like crazy with very limited user input. Literally just go in, change the frequency, and on an MSI board it's very, very straightforward, like the one behind me. Just go into memory, try it, choose a frequency and speed, and it will either work or it won't. Couldn't be much easier, could it? So anyway, this has been the Klevv CRAS X RGB. I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.